Welcome to Poets from the Neighborhood. I am VeerajaR.
And I'm David M. Harris. We hope you'll enjoy the poems we'll be reading today, poems written by your friends and neighbors. We start with a poem of my own titled Untitled. Can we call you Dave? No. At the start of the semester, you have to set some limits. I am their teacher, not a pal. Should we call you Dr. Harris? That would be inaccurate. I am a master of fine arts, but I will not suggest they call me master. My title here is lecturer, too awkward in the mouth. Professor will do, although still inaccurate. My first agent addressed mail to me with Esquire appended, neither of us aware of its legal implications. We were not used to titles, we Americans. Our president has medals instead to scatter among the honored few. In France, briefly, the title was citizen, the highest honor the state could give. Everyone earned it. I don't think my students would have used that. They didn't even like last names. They wrote papers about William and his sonnets, Jane and her novels. Democratic, but that has limits. Can we balance equality and respect? But we are not equal. We want parity, recognition that we are all, by our American birth, peers.
Driving through Chickamauga Battlefield by Helga Kidder in memory of George Russell Kidder, 1842 to 1866. History rises through deciduous brush and scrub pines to a waxing moon. As I roll past soldiers buried nearly 2 centuries ago, your mind sharp as a whittle knife when a bullet pierced your skull. You returned home, fathered one child, then hung your life on a rope. Monuments and markers kneel at the edge of woods, throw shadows closer. Fields shorn short stir me to the present, future layers for history. At family dinners, no one whispers your name or that your mind's wound still fattens the ebb and flow of blood in our veins. Climbing the ladder of night to the half moon, I find memory of you in the dark side, a coarse cloth I drag behind me through ashes.
Another poem of mine, Dead Letter Office, Damon Knight. Dear Damon, across the continent, filtered by electrons, I never saw you so clear as to see your flaws. Human, there must have been some. The meticulous writer revised them out of all those online posts, O eminence of message boards. I only picked up some of your good, or tried to. I learned from the fiction, of course, which left me and so many others envious, and the criticism clear and fluent, but you modeled more. The careful argument, the probing, your Gedanken experimenting, and calling them that, not thought experiments. Your hopeless crusades against the apostrophe, against academic abuse of the language, principle, the fine-tuned mind at work, Socrates online and at play, pushing us through the mind's workout to help us, me, to think, to be better. And sending my comments on your new edition to your editor, even if he knew better than to put them on the cover. Patron, advisor, supporter, but we never had the chance to lift a couple of cold ones. I'll lift one for you now with someone young and try to carry on as you taught me.
The next poem, one of mine, VeerajaR, God's Choice. God chose you to be my mother. How can I ever repay for all that you suffered? for the sake of me? How did I even deserve my mother's ironclad love, or God's grace to be a being human other than dust?
Yet another poem by me, Wishes. In the woods, boy at his side, stick in one hand, cigar in the other, he posed for the picture I am taking. He watched his good child marry a man of whom he approved, whom she would divorce 3 years later after the boy was born. He wanted to be a family man, a good father and loving husband. He glared into a mirror, saw instead himself, his father, and me. He swung an axe, pulled a saw, hefted the logs into the wagon I helped him pull home.
Eclipsed by VeerajaR, that's me. Eclipsed. How could this be? Against all odds, the last thing I had ever thought befall what I behold. Knowing all that I know, teaching all what I know, to all, family or not, friend or not, did what I could to warn many, to heal many. How could this be? Like an eclipse, even the sun, against all odds, couldn't escape. Thank you for watching Poets from the Neighborhood. We hope you'll join us again soon.